So, in today's video, I'll be sharing with you guys my gigantic Playhouse Disney collection. We'll be checking out some stuff that I found online, offline, and some things that I've held on to throughout my childhood. So, what are we waiting for? Let's talk about it. First up in the collection here, we have these awesome Bear in the Big Blue House books. First book we're showcasing here is What's That Smell? It's a lift and sniff book. Another lift and flap storybook. It's Bear's Egg Hunt. And I found this at a local thrift store as well. Mystery at the Big Blue House with Ojo and Tutter. The Way I Feel Today. We have Spring Has Sprung. Another holiday book. Santa Visits the Big Blue House. And Bear is dressed like Santa Claus. Raiders of the Lost Cheese. If anybody is a Indiana Jones fan, Raiders of the Lost Ark is a parody of that. This is a hardcovered Bear in the Big Blue House book. Bear's Storytime Favorites. It's a collection of different stories. If you couldn't find these different books at the time, they put them in one giant collection. Here's another hardcovered kids book, Where is Bear? Who can forget Luna and Bear? Singing the Goodbye Song. Tutter's Tiny Trip. Here's another hardcover Bear in the Big Blue House holiday book. I just want to point out that none of these things in my collection that I'm showing, my Playhouse Disney collection, is for sale. Nothing is for sale. I'm just showcasing to you guys what's in my collection. So if you want to start your own collection, it could be Playhouse Disney, Nickelodeon, Nick Jr., whatever collection you want to start. You can start very affordable and small by just collecting some books. You don't have to go after the most big, gigantic, super expensive things right off the bat. You can start small and affordable and then work your way up. Here's a giant hardcovered Bear in the Big Blue House, a book of first words. We got Luna and Bear on the back. So here's some more Bear books that I found at a local thrift store. Here's a Bear in the Big Blue House, Bear Loves Me, bedtime covered book. Here we have Two Can Share Two, and this teaches kids about sharing between Ojo and Trilo. I have When You've Gotta Go, so teaching you about going to the bathroom. And clearly, Tutter has to go. Another holiday book here, a comfy, cozy Thanksgiving. So we also have the Tutter Family Reunion. What I really like about these books is at the back here, there's advertisements showing you the different DVDs and VHSs that you could collect at the time. It's Tutter's Tea Party. So this was supposed to had come, or at the time it would have came with a plush Tutter. So here's a thin paper book called Bear's Breakfast Treat. Another cool thing that I found on a trip to a thrift store or local thrift stores is you never know what you could find in educational literature section. How many, counting with Bear. And this is cool because it's teaching kids about numbers, and they can trace the letter 1. Another similar book here, it's called Matching with Bear, that help you learn the difference between same and same versus images that are different. Along with those two, this is also another educational learning book. If anybody remembers that popular Playhouse Disney and Disney Junior show, Little Einsteins, and with all the other kids in that show, teaching you different things just like they would in the show. And what's really cool about this, this book actually had still the stickers inside of it. If anybody also remembers another popular show on the program block called The Book of Pooh, if you want to know more about the history of The Book of Pooh, where those puppets are, and what the show is about, I highly recommend that you go check out the video popping up on the screen, or it will be in the playlist under the Playhouse Disney video playlist. I actually ended up finding this hardcovered The Book of Pooh book at a thrift store. This is teaching kids about different sounds and words. I haven't really found much The Book of Pooh books, so when I do find them or run across them, I definitely try to add as much as I can into the collection. Here's another The Book of Pooh Rhymes, Picture, Poems book. Yeah, again, super happy to have this in the collection along with this book. Another show that was featured on the Playhouse Disney program block was Rolie Polie Olie. So here's a book by William Joyce. It's called Snowy Rolie. A lot of very cool illustrations inside. Found this at a local thrift store as well. I'm pretty sure I had these books when I was younger. I believe as I got older, like a lot of us do, we sell off our childhood things. Here's his family, his mom and dad, his sister, and his dog. Another Rolie Polie Olie book. It's Sleepy Time Olie. Another really awesome and amazing show was Stanley, the kid who loved to learn about animals. There's a sticker down there, CNS Playhouse Disney. I ended up finding this book at a local thrift store as well called Tiger Time for Stanley. Another book in that same series called Stanley Goes Ape. Here we have Shark Mad Stanley. We have Dolphin Party. We have Tyrannosaurus Rex, Daddy Lion. We have this Big Time Olie hardcover book. So this is a paperback version of the book. Also on the Playhouse Disney program block, there was another show called the Koala Brothers. I don't know if anybody remembers that. Of course, there's different pictures and images, the characters from the show, and then you could take these out and have fun making puzzles. Found this recently at a local thrift store. This book is filled with so many amazing and awesome images from the show. Koala Brothers book that I found called Tales from the Outback. I actually ended up finding these two awesome early 2000s Disney store magazines at a local kind of Disney fan convention. We have a Bear in the Big Blue House Disney grab-and-go sleeping bag, Bear in the Big Blue House chair. We have this really cool Playhouse Disney. Here's all the books that I just shared with you guys and showed you guys. You could have gotten a Stanley flannel sheet set for your bed. You could have gotten a Stanley plush along with Elsie and of course his goldfish Dennis. Here we have Space Boy and Space Dog Rolie Polie Olie, a Rolie Polie Olie flannel bed sheet, and then of course we have these plush Rolie Polie Olie and Zoe plush along with Spot right here. We've gotten a Rolie Polie Olie Playhouse playset. And of course we have another Disney store magazine. This one is from Christmas 2002. While looking through this magazine, that's pretty cool. They have these Toy Story 2 puppet set. That's pretty cool. They have the Green Alien Man, they have Buzz, Woody, and Bullseye. And look, they even have a little puppet stage that will go along with it. Cool here is that we see a Bear in the Big Blue House bed set, pillowcases with Bear, Pip, and Pop, along with this Stanley plush. Also ended up finding this at that Disney Ania Fan Expo event. This is from 2003 when they were announcing for Disneyland the new Adventures of Winnie the Pooh ride. Here we go. There is the Playhouse Disney live on stage show advertisement, which is super cool. There we see the puppet version of Olie, and then we see, of course, Bear and all the gang, and kind of breaking down to you about the new show. All right, guys, so now we're on to the media. Bear in the Big Blue House birthday party VHS tape. Have Bear in the Big Blue House potty time with Bear. On this at a local thrift store, this is volume 2, Jim Henson Home Entertainment, Bear in the Big Blue House, Friends for Life, plus The Big Little Visitor. On VHS, here is the Book of Pooh, Stories from the Heart. And then here's another little insert that you normally would get these things. This is super cool. And then this is a parent's guide letting the parents know about all the shows, on Playhouse Disney. So you have Stanley, Bear in the Big Blue House out of the box. This is also one of my mini favorites as well, PB&J Otter. And of course, the Book of Pooh, and then Rolie Polie Olie. I love seeing fun little inserts like this come along with the VHS tapes, and I highly recommend that when you go thrift store shopping that you look inside each VHS tape and or DVD, because you never know what cool little advertisements like this you could find. All right, so I found this lot of these Book of Pooh VHSs on eBay. I have the Book of Pooh, Thank You and You Are Welcome, the Book of Pooh, A Valentine for Eeyore. This VHS tape is teaching kids about words. So I have this other VHS tape, the Book of Pooh, teaching about friends. Book of Pooh, this is a sealed VHS copy of Make Believe. So teaching kids how to have fun with make believe using your imagination. On this Rolie Polie Olie, the Baby Bot Chase. Up next, we have this Rolie Polie Olie, the Great Defender of Fun. We have this Rolie Polie Olie Happy Hearts Days, Rolie Polie Olie Telling the Truth. And then this is really cool. This is a promotional video, kind of letting you know about the show. And they probably played this in a few video stores to help advertise, at the time, the new Playhouse Disney show. DVD collection time. Here we go. We have this really cool Playhouse Disney Stanley Hop to It DVD. In DVD form, we have another copy of the Rolie Polie Olie, the Baby Bot Chase. We have the popular JoJo Circus Playhouse Disney show, Take a Bow DVD. In a DVD form, we have another copy of the Book of Pooh, Stories from the Heart. And the Big Blue House, Early to Bed, Early to Rise. Bear in the Big Blue House, Visiting the Doctor with Bear. We have Bear in the Big Blue House, A Bear for All Seasons. So have Bear in the Big Blue House, Dance Party. We have Bear in the Big Blue House, Potty Time with Bears. We have A Bear for All Seasons again. The Bear for All Seasons is in this cover, and this is A Bear for All Seasons in this cover. DVD, we have Rolie Polie Olie, Springtime Fun. This is the DVD version of Rolie Polie Olie, the Great Defender of Fun. Found this at a local thrift store. Super cool. A Very Playhouse Disney Holiday. Rolie Polie Olie, A Spooky Ooky Halloween. Also, it's like a collab DVD featuring the Book of Pooh, Just Say Boo. Yeah, definitely brings back a lot of memories. There's also a special out of the box episode featured in here. Like I said, I was a big fan of this show as well growing up. Higglytown Heroes. All right, so here's my Playhouse Disney cassette song tape that I actually got from the Playhouse Disney Mall Tour. And again, if you want to know more about the history of that, you can check out that video popping up on screen after you watch this one, or that is also in the description of the Playhouse Disney video playlist Here's a CD version of that I found at a local thrift store. Also found this recently at a local thrift store. This is the Playhouse Disney Imagine and Learn with Music CD. So I ended up finding this really cool Book of Pooh CD-ROM at a local antique store in my area. And this at another antique store. This is the Playhouse Disney Stanley CD-ROM Tiger Tales game. Here's also another Playhouse Disney Stanley Wild for Sharks game that I found. So at a local thrift store, I ended up finding this My First Leap Pad, Bear in the Big Blue House, Tutter's Tiny Trip little booklet thing. Here's the little cartridge that you put into the tablet, and then when you flip the booklet, as you put it inside the tablet, and you have like a little interactive pin, when you press it against these words or the screen, it'll either make a noise or a character will make a noise, and it'll read along with you. Also, on my trips to the thrift store, I ended up finding this phonics with Bear learning cards. If anybody remembers growing up with Bear in the Big Blue House, you remember that for a time, they sold these really cool, awesome Bear Cha-Cha-Cha toys. All right, so in this giant wall of plushes, along with Muppet plushes, as you guys see right there, here, he's kind of crammed in here. So this is a original Bear in the Big Blue House plush. Also a Bear in the Big Blue House coin bank that I recently just did a video on. I apologize for the glare in advance, but here's an Ojo standee that I found off of OfferUp. I brought her along with a bear standee. Here is the Bear in the Big Blue House standee that I was telling you guys about that I got off of OfferUp from the same lady. She sold me both Bear and Ojo. So I ended up finding this at a local thrift store as well. This is the Higglytown Heroes little figure set. Here they all are outside of the package. We have Yubi, Wayne, Twinkle, and Kip. And I'm forgetting the name of the squirrel. So if you know the squirrel character's name, definitely leave a comment below letting me know. Of course, how can I forget that popular Playhouse Disney show, The Wiggles, that I'm pretty sure we all grew up watching and remembering, and they're still going on to this day. But this is an original Disney Store Captain Feathersword sword. All right, so shout out to my dad because he actually ended up finding both of these awesome items. This is the Bear in the Big Blue House Live by the V Corporation. There's a little tin lunchbox as well, and then he also ended up finding this really cool Hallmark keepsake ornament with Stanley and his fish Dennis jumping over the great big book of everything. Also, while visiting that Disney Ania Fan Expo event, I ended up finding these really cool Rolie Polie Olie stickers, which I thought was super awesome and cool. So up next, this I had to lay out on my bed because it's just too big to even try to fit in a regular camera frame. I ended up finding this really cool The Book of Pooh video display mobile from the early 2000s on Facebook Marketplace. So this is what it looks like all together. It's one gigantic display. This stuff is supposed to like hang from it, like so, kind of just turning. Here's Kessie, one of the characters. And last but not least, we have Pooh Bear swinging by a balloon. I ended up finding this giant Playhouse Disney store. It's almost like a toy storage, toy box bin thing for kids at the time. So at a local thrift store, I ended up finding in a toy bag, a random toy bag, this really cool figure set of Pip and Pop. This little Tutter with his cheese. This is actually a Subway toy. Here's a mini Applause Tutter plush. So here are the Book of Pooh McDonald's toys that were released at the time. We have Kessie. We have an owl stamper. Here we have a tiny plush of Rabbit from the Book of Pooh. And then we have this Winnie the Pooh keychain, like a backpack keychain or, you know, wherever you want to hang them from. I found Olie in a regular Savers thrift store bag. We also again have his dog Spot here. And I actually ended up finding this at a Comic-Con. There was like a little toy booth bin thing, and they had Zoe there just kind of sitting there looking all happy. So also in the collection, I have this little Ojo Bing Bag plush. I believe she's also from, she's from Fisher-Price. All right, so these two plushes have been in my collection for such a long time. We have JoJo from JoJo Circus and Goliath. I actually had these when I was little, and these are the ones from when I was little. So these next set of plushes, which are the Stanley plushes, have also been in my collection as well. I've had these ever since I was a kid. They're from the Disney store. So yeah, so there's Stanley, here's Dennis, Elsie, and then we have Harry. There's a Bear in the Big Blue House puzzle that I actually ended up finding at a local Savers thrift store. I also found this really cool I Love Bear in the Big Blue House Super Coloring Time book. Apologize for the glare, but here is another Bear in the Big Blue House book that I forgot to share with you guys. This is the Bear in the Big Blue House Hide and Seek in the House book. This is also my favorite find of my entire Playhouse Disney collection, would of course be the Playhouse Disney and the actual Playhouse Disney sign that was in a store right across the street from the Playhouse Disney Live on Stage attraction. If you would like to know more about this sign, definitely go check out the full video about how I found this sign. Disney Store, the Book of Pooh Plush Toy Collection, Book of Pooh Plush, the Book of Pooh Piglet Plush, the Book of Pooh Eeyore Plush, and the Book of Pooh Tigger Plush. Unfortunately, because a lot of stuff is deeply buried in my closet or in a drawer buried somewhere, I'm actually going to play clips of some of my older videos, which I still have this stuff in my collection. I just can't find it at the moment. So, yeah, check this out. Small little bear plush, and he's holding on to Tutter. Tutter kind of looks a little shocked and surprised. I actually ended up finding this as a set on Facebook Marketplace. 8 thank you notes, a banner that would say happy birthday, decorative paper streamer that you could like hang. It is the McDonald's Happy Meal promotional poster. All these toys are from 2001. Playhouse Disney cast member crew backstage pass being sold on eBay. And here it is. Now, according to the description given by the seller of said hat, this hat was given only to cast and crew members. It's a rare collector's hat that says Playhouse Disney Live on Stage, Disney's California Adventure, 10th Thousand Show. Coffee cup mug. This is a 24-piece Stanley puzzle. Leave me a comment below letting me know what are some cool things that you have from your childhood in your collection. Feel free to share and leave your story in the comments below. Hey, thanks so much for watching this fun, awesome puppy related video. I hope you enjoyed it and you learned a lot, and if you did, please do me a favor and go check out the next video right here on the screen. Kermit and I think you will enjoy it, and we'll see you over there. Until next time, take care, and well, have an awesome day.